So you should be looking at the inverses of linear functions. So I actually want to start with the second example. So f of x equals -1/4 times x plus 3. Okay, so this is a linear function, a plain old x, no square root, no squared, none of that, just a plain old x, very, very simple. So the first thing that we want to make sure that we know is that f of x is the exact same thing as y. Okay, so I'm just going to rewrite this function, but instead of f of x, I'm going to use a y. Okay, so it's the same thing as y equals -1/4 times x plus 3. Okay, so nothing changed. F of x is the very same thing as y. Okay, now when we talk about inverses, the one thing that we want to remember is that you just switch the x and the y. So when you're looking for an inverse, you have to switch the x and the y. Okay, so instead of my y, I'm going to put x is equal to -1/4, and then instead of this x, I'm going to put my y plus 3. Nothing else changed. I just switched the x and the y values. That's it. Okay. Now remember, you want the y by itself. That's our goal, is to get the y completely alone. Okay. So we are going to solve for y. Okay. This is going to be the common thing in every single one of these examples. We have to get that y completely by itself. Okay, that's our goal. So we've got -1/4 being multiplied by y, and then they added 3, so plus 3. We're going to start with this plus 3. So I like to say start with the thing that's furthest away. So the -1/4 is right next to the y, so we're going to start with this plus 3. So in order to get rid of it or to move it to the other side, you do the opposite. Okay, so we're going to undo this addition, we're just going to subtract it from both sides. So remember, if you do it on the right side, you gotta do it on the left side, okay? Those will cancel. So on this side, we're left with -1/4 times y. On this side, we're left with our x minus 3, right? We can't combine these. X and 3 are not like terms. So we're left with x minus 3. Okay? So now we've got 1/4. Remember, that's being multiplied by y. Opposite of multiplication is just division. Okay? So I'm going to divide this side by -1/4. And then I can divide this side by -1/4. My fractions will cancel. -1/4 divided by -1/4, so I'm left with my y. That was my end goal. Okay? Then if you want, you can use a calculator. So remember, there's a 1 in front of that x. So you can do 1 divided by -1/4, which is just going to be -4x. So in your calculator, you could literally just type in 1 and then divided by -1/4. You would get -4, so -4x. Okay? And then -3 divided by -1/4. We've got a negative and a negative, so that's going to end up being a positive 12. Okay? So again, you can do that in your calculator. You're dividing everything by -1/4. 1 divided by -1/4 is -4. -3 divided by -1/4 is 12. We've got y by itself, which was my end goal. Therefore, my inverse is -4x plus 12.